The penultimate episode was undeniably dynamic, intertwining three interconnected stories that culminated in the plane approaching UK airspace where ground control could finally establish communication with Flight KA29. However, the ending brought about unexpected chaos and set the stage for what appears to be an epic season finale. Let's now recap, analyze, and explain the key takeaways from this intense episode titled Hijack Episode 6, Ending Explained. The conclusion of the episode left a profound impact. Edgar, Jansen, and John were released from prison by the authorities, acceding to the hijackers' demands. However, upon their release, they conveyed a clear message to the authorities not to follow them or there would be consequences. Nevertheless, the authorities chose to track them, leading to potential complications. One aspect that left me puzzled was the decision of the authorities to have only cars patrolling the area at the base. However, when we returned to the scene, the authorities were unexpectedly right behind Edgar and John's tail. Daniel had the audacity to exclaim, "We've been compromised," which seemed quite outrageous considering the authorities were in such close pursuit. It was no surprise that they noticed the three cars following them. This development prompted Edgar and John to take decisive action on the plane as a response to the authorities' persistence and to demonstrate their seriousness. They chose to use Sheena Francis, who had tragically died a couple of episodes ago. This way, they aimed to spare any other passengers on the plane from harm. Yet, this act of using Sheena established a pervasive fear and tension throughout the episode, as everyone now dreaded further casualties caused by the hijackers. This fear would ultimately reach its climax. Meanwhile, the authorities were torn on whether to re-arrest Edgar and John, who were attempting to flee the country. They found their path blocked, suspecting it might be a ploy to delay them until the plane landed. This division among the authorities only added to the mounting suspense and uncertainty as events unfolded. However, the authorities were not behind the roadblock at all. This unexpected turn of events forced Edgar and John to change their route and head towards an airspace where a plane and pilot were arranged, potentially taking them to Africa. At this location, the authorities launched a surprise attack, arresting individuals they believed were Edgar and John. However, it turned out to be a clever ruse. When the car reached the wooded area and the drone's visibility was obscured, they switched with people who bore a striking resemblance to them. This clever tactic allowed Edgar and John to escape undetected in an untracked vehicle, catching the police completely off guard. Meanwhile, back on the plane, Sam came to the conclusion that it was time to fight back against the hijackers. He feared that the hijackers might demand another photo of a victim to send to Edgar if things took a turn for the worse. The tension on the plane intensified as the passengers and crew grappled with the increasing danger posed by the hijackers. And his fears were right. The passengers on the plane found a clever way to communicate with each other by writing a slogan on a drink carton that said, "Get ready to shake things up." Unfortunately, the hijackers discovered this message, resulting in chaos breaking loose. Stuart, overcome with anger, threatened to kill someone, initially targeting Sam, but the flight attendant reminded Stuart of how Sam had tried to save Lewis's life. This fact seemed to torment Stuart, evident from his behavior throughout the episode. In a fit of rage, Stuart decided to target another person, a woman. During this tense moment, Sam took matters into his own hands and charged at Stuart, leading to a brawl between them. However, before the situation escalated further, a surprising distraction occurred. A female passenger, unbeknownst to both the hijackers and the passengers, revealed herself as a hijacker after receiving a text from Edgar instructing her to act at that moment. This unexpected turn of events prevented any fatalities and left the situation unresolved as the episode unfolded. After emerging from the toilet, she proceeded to kill the pilot and then locked herself inside the pilot's cabin. Her actions have left me feeling fearful about what might happen next. Could her intentions be to crash the plane now that Edgar and John are free and no longer of importance to her? It remains uncertain, but it's apparent that she was complicit in the hijacking plot, and not a single person on the plane was aware of her true motives. As the finale approaches, it is shaping up to be a large-scale event, and I honestly have no idea where it will lead.